Very good morning. Welcome to Financial Freedom Show. I am CS Sudhir. Mr. Krishna has posted a question on the Financial Freedom app. He says, what are the 5 questions I must ask myself while applying for a credit card? See, this is something very common these days, that people get calls from these banks and credit card companies asking you to apply for a credit card. Since they are giving you a lifetime free credit card as they claim, you avail it, right? And you assume that, okay, there is no cost, let me use it. But remember, they will have a lot of these conditions which are written in small letters. You will not even realize them. So I want you to ask these 5 questions before you apply for credit card. Number 1, if you get a credit card and if you use the credit card, will you be able to pay the bill in the month end on the billing date, on the payment date? Because many a times what happens, you take the credit card, you use it, but on the billing date, on the due date, you will not have any money to pay, which means you will get into trouble. Your credit history will be spoiled. I don't want that to happen. And the second aspect I want you to check is, you'll have to find out whether your credit card offers EMI option, because in case you're purchasing something very costly, let's say you're purchasing something worth 2 lakh rupee and you use your credit card and tomorrow you have no money to pay the credit card bill on the due date. So now in case if you have EMI option, easy EMI option, then you should be able to convert the 2 lakh transaction into maybe 10 months EMI and pay 20,000 rupee each over a period of 10 months, which means you will not have the pressure. But sometimes what happens, some of these banks charge you hefty interest for these EMIs, these loans when you convert them. So I want you to check even those aspects. What is the nominal interest they charge and all that. And the third one is, you'll have to check whether the payment dates are flexible or is it fixed. On this day to pay, if you don't pay next morning, you'll be charged so much. Because sometimes what happens, some of these banks are very strict on these due dates, right? And the fourth one is, I want you to understand how these co-branded cards work, and I want you to probably practically consider whether it is useful, because some of these co-branded cards have limited usage outside those specific purposes set aside. So it is good to evaluate whether it really makes sense or not. And then I want you to also think about how many cards really you need. If you already have two, I don't think you need the third one. Why do you really want to do it? Because many times what happens, you don't really use the available credit limit. You go on taking new credit cards, which means they will anyway levy annual maintenance charges, which you may not be able to bear it later, which means you will end up with paying unwanted expenses. Why do you want to get into the trouble? So I want you to consider that, wherein you should not be availing too many credit cards just for the sake of having credit cards. Therefore, I want you to consider these 5 things and choose the right credit card. On top of all these 5, once you avail credit card, I want you to ensure that you don't pay the minimum balance only. You pay the full amount. Many people keep paying the minimum balance due, which means you'll get into a debt trap soon, because the minimum amount due you pay is not the EMI you pay, or the installment you pay. This is basically the interest component you pay, which means you will get into debt trap. Please don't make that mistake. This is why we've designed a course on credit card and Financial Freedom app. This course is so useful, which will help you make right financial decisions, especially to choose the right credit card and using it in the right way. And on Financial Freedom app, we have about 72 courses on personal finance, career, business and farming. Please watch all these courses, and if you have any questions related to any of these topics, please post your questions in the Financial Freedom app. And we have an interesting offer for Republic TV viewers on Financial Freedom app. After you download Financial Freedom app from Play Store or App Store, if you enter the referral code Freedom Show, as you see on the screen, Freedom Show, you will get rupees 2,000 worth scholarship to get access to all these courses on Financial Freedom app. Please make use of it. Download Financial Freedom app right now. Thanks for watching. Be wise, get rich.